Your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess Rose McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. Welcome back to the weekly warm-up podcast. Hello. I'm having to re-record this. Super fun. I decided that when I realized that the first recording got all messed up, that I would just switch up the topics. So that way I did not feel like I had to have the pressure of saying the same thing or making it better than what it was the last time. Anyways, that's that. I have just been moving and grooving this morning. Yes, I'm recording this right now in the morning. I have to do some content filming this afternoon. I'm going to go to the track and then go for a run, which always works out. I love that I can just like my life and my lifestyle and my work all combines together. So it's not like I have to go do 12 different things sometimes. I can just all do it at once, kind of. But I'm really excited about it because it's for a Valentine's Day giveaway. Stay tuned. And I just got my nails done yesterday. I love the place I go to. I'm obsessed with the place I go to. I've been going to it for 3 years and I love it. But one of my nails got like whatever, what's it called? Not smudged because I get like a structured manicure, but it peeled off. So now I have to reach out to them. I'm obsessed with them. So I'm not even tell you who I go to because they do an amazing job. I've never gone to any place in my entire life that does a better job than them. Sometimes it happens. It's probably my fault because I'm always on my phone working. And so then when you put your hand in and then you take it out and you use your phone, you're really not supposed to. But I love my girl. Normally she'll like yell at me. Yeah, so that's that. We've got a lot of topics. Where is my phone? Over there. That I wanted, well, not a lot of topics. There are some topics I want to discuss today, and then I want to scroll and do some one-offs. I'm still finishing my breakfast, so that way I can get this run going. Obviously, I'm popping a Celsius right now. So let's dive in. First and foremost, I finally am an iPhone 17 gal. I got the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I love it. I actually always wait until at least 5 or 6 months after the phone comes out to get it. I want to see if it's worth it, if the camera or any updates that have had, or, the technology is actually worth it. Is it worth the hype? Is the phone going to blow up? Is it going to bend in half? Does it break easily? You know the drill. I have finally been sold on it. And so I got it and the camera is absolutely insane. The quality of my content is going to be so good. I got the blue. I actually heard that the orange, even though I'm not big on the orange, I do think it looks like fake dupe knockoff bootleg version of Hermes. But I heard that it actually fades over time, the orange. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me. All right, let's open my handy dandy notebook. This is just some pop culture news that I read that I thought was pretty interesting. What ChatGPT health means for the wellness industry. In 2026, OpenAI is launching ChatGPT Health, a dedicated health feature allowing users to upload and analyze medical documents, interpret data from wearable devices, and receive diet, exercise, and GLP-1 advice through integrations with wellness apps. Wow. At the link in the bio, okay to do that, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of exciting and scary. I wonder how that's going to take place with healthcare as far as benefits go. Is this going to be an alternative health care as in benefits option where you can purchase a wearable device? Gosh, I love technology like this. This is what I'm here for. I cannot stand going to doctor's offices. I'm actually mortified, terrified, horrified of doctor's offices. They just don't make you feel good. The bright lights, interrogation. I don't want to know what's happening to me. I don't want to know what's going on, even though I do, but I don't. It's really bad. I'm actually really bad about going to doctors to the point where it's a waste of my health insurance, but also I need to grow up. Super cool. I kind of want to look into this more and maybe have this on another topic for the next episode, but I like the idea of a wearable device and receive diet, exercise, and GLP-1 advice. So that's completely separate, obviously, through integrations with wellness apps. I'm all here for AI as long as it's not watching me when I don't want it to be watching me, and that it's not going to take place of humans as far as jobs go, where we need jobs because we need humans to be able to live. and to support themselves. And then I also want to ensure that AI is not taking away from education and learning, and especially with younger generations, but in general. I hope that it just integrates into our world to better us and to better help serve us. Moving on. So I'm super pumped. This week, we're starting to do some more training with my Fabletics Run Club. We're doing track days on Saturdays and then our regular run club on Sundays, and I'm super pumped about it. So we will essentially be meeting Saturdays and Sundays throughout the month. This month, we just won't be meeting on February 14th or 15th because I'm running back-to-back races. But I'm super pumped to integrate more training and more endurance education, but also ways to push people that have never been pushed before like this, as well as kind of show people my running and training style as an educator and a expert and somebody that's been in the game and has gotten the education for it. So it'll be super exciting to do that. Fabletics Miami Run Club. Follow on my Instagram, Fit with Jess Rose MCD. There's a channel there. We actually started a WhatsApp, or I started a WhatsApp group chat. So that way we can kind of like really just be able to back and forth if there's questions. And then we obviously are on Strava. But I've just loved being part of this community and seeing it grow. There's a lot of things that I have planned for it this year that I'm wanting to expand on and take the time to do. I am the sole host. I have amazing support from the store locally in Dadeland Mall, but I also have an amazing support system with headquarters that I absolutely love and chat with them on a regular basis. So it's just been so nice to just work with people that think like you and that respect you and that have, but then also respect your ideas and how crazy. And I love like the emails I send them on a regular basis is so funny to me, but that's what I've been passionate about. And that's what I want to do. And there's just so many exciting things that I want to explore with the run club and grow. And I'm also just extremely blessed and thankful to Fabletics as the brand for trusting in me and allowing me to do something so amazing like this. So yeah, if you haven't been to Fabletics Run Club, come hang out, come run. All levels are welcome. You do not have to know what you're doing. Okay. That's one thing about run clubs. And I guess in a sense, I mean, I've been running for 20 years and running obviously has evolved. And now I don't want to say it's oversaturated, but there's a run club in every street, and that's good and that's fine. And everyone finds their community. And I mean, even people that come to my run club go to 3 or 4 other run clubs. Some people are very much cliquey and cult to their one run club. There's no problem with that. Some run clubs are, invite only. Some run clubs, you have to feel like you have to have certain paces and you have to look a certain way and live a certain lifestyle and be a certain type of running athlete. But the whole point of running in general, besides community, is what it's doing for your mental health and what it's doing for your body and your cardiovascular output and your overall health. Sometimes I feel like we have that taken away when we're constantly being consumed of which run club should I go to? Or what should I be doing at this run club? Or can I do it? Like, can I run? Do I know how to run? Should I be running this fast? If I can't run this fast, is that not good? Should I be putting myself under all this pressure with races? It's gotten to the point where I feel like we need to go back to the basics and we need to go back to what running is truly about. And once you do that and you take away the hype of constantly feeling like you're competing against other run clubs or other people, or that you have to have a certain PR, or you have to have a certain level of skill or look a certain way to fit in, you really start to realize what running is all about and what running can do for you as a human being. So that's kind of where I'm at with it and how I like to talk to my people and talk to my community and how I like to grow and what I see as far as my run club goes in the future. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, but everyone has a place somewhere, and never feel like you are not welcome. You are always welcome. We've had people that hit their first 5K, ran for the first time, did their first half marathon, their first 5K. I already said that. Hit it, new PRs, are hitting new PRs every week. And that's the point. So just remember that. And you're stronger, capable, healthier, worthy. Come to Fabletics Miami Run Club. You'll love it. I promise. I really should take another bite at my breakfast, but My mom's probably listening and she's going to tell me how rude I am. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I cannot wait. I haven't gotten a haircut since before I went to Europe, and Europe just screwed my hair up. Not because, well, like the weather, yeah, but also because I was doing it all the time. But the shitty ass blow dryers that I had to use because I couldn't bring my Dyson Airwrap. This is a fun fact. Those that this as a traveling connoisseur and somebody that is a world traveler. That was really annoying. Don't bring your Dyson Airwrap to Europe. Don't have the same plugs as we do. And if you go and buy an adapter, that's fine for most of your stuff. You will notice sometimes that your products might like feel like they're heating up quick. Sometimes phones, but other things that you have to charge. But if you bring your Dyson Airwrap and you use it in a connector, it will blow up because the motor is not designed for that type of, I don't want to like electricity, the force. And so it will blow up the motor. Don't do it. And also don't put your Dyson Airwrap or Dyson, any type of tool in your carry-on. It will signal TSA, and I have TSA pre-check. Like we have clear, whatever it's called. It will still signal that it, not like it's a bomb. I know that sounds crazy, but it will signal something like that, just to let you know. Anyways, okay, squirrel, moving on. That's so funny. I literally was just talking about how I can't wait to get my hair cut tomorrow. And then I scrolled into Dyson Airwraps, and then I scrolled into the next section. But what I was saying is that because of all the crappy blow dryers I had to use, it just tore up my hair. So I just cannot wait to get a haircut and to get back in action. And then Kirsten, Kristen S. Kirsten would be Kristin would be Kristen. Kirsten S. See, that's what I don't understand. Like Kristen would be Kristen. Kirsten S. Anyways, the hair company that I'm obsessed with and I love, what do you want to call it? The agency that they work with, or for like their influence. This is why the Celsius hit, all my alcohol, all my drugs have hit. I should never, ever film the podcast in the morning because I'm on level 100. I am lit. I'm ready to go. This is hilarious. Yeah, this is who I am, guys. But no, they're the agency they use for like influencer marketing. Good gravy. And all have been reaching out to me and they've sent me product before and stuff. And I'm working with them. Fingers crossed. So pray for me. And they have a gloss. So a gloss is just what you would put over your hair to make it shiny. And so I'm bringing it to my hair guy tomorrow because he wants to do it with me just in like to see if it will be good for my hair or not, because I don't dye my hair and he doesn't want to ruin my precious locks. But I'm excited about that because that will be fun to film some content. I actually got to figure out some ways that I want to do it. I have one thing I want to do that I know, but I want to figure out how I want to film with the gloss. Okay, now actually moving on. I just saw this the other day and I thought it was super cool. So we've obviously been on the talk of just neuroscience a lot lately. And I don't know why I continue to do it. I think it's just because it ties hand in hand with obviously mental health, but also running, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, everything about my life, everything about this podcast, everything about my personal brand and what I share on the internet. And I figured, why don't we just keep that moving and grooving? I do have one thing I want to talk about running wise. That is a good topic too. But 8 morning routines that neuroscience links to better mental clarity, and the one that sabotages focus, according to neuroscience. And this is from this is from Good Neuroscience Instagram, but I found it. Yeah. Good Neuroscience Instagram. Your brain experiences a cortisol awakening response within 30 minutes of waking that sets the tone for your day. Research shows 73% of people check their phone within 7 minutes of waking, triggering dopamine spikes that lead to distraction. I have a topic on that I want to discuss. Critical morning habits include light exposure to reset circadian rhythms, hydration to restore cognitive function, and mindfulness during the brain's most suggestible transition period. MIT researchers, smart people, found that your basal ganglia bundle morning actions into automatic sequences through repetition. A Cambridge study, uber smart, showed consistent morning rituals improved working memory and task accuracy by up to 42%. Pretty cool. So the one habit that sabotages focus is hitting snooze, creating sleep inertia that impairs decision making for hours. That makes sense. I never hit snooze ever. I've never been a snoozer, but I'm also an early riser, and I almost have like a biological clock too. So if I don't have an alarm on, typically I'll wake up within that like 30-minute time frame of when I would wake up. Your brain experience, okay, that's what I just said. This natural hormone can, oh wait, so your brain experiences a cortisol awakening response within 30 minutes of waking. This natural hormone surge can either set you up for peak mental performance or leave you scattered and unfocused depending on what you do during this critical window. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So I agree with that. But it's also very interesting because there are a lot of people, and I will call out my mom because she is a very highly active, motivated, successful woman. And she will wake up at 4 a.m. and sit and go over her emails because that's the time during the day where she is obviously the least busy. She is not needed by anybody at that time. And she can go back and look at emails and respond what she needs to respond to. She likes to go over her schedule, etc. So it's interesting to see how the waking up and getting to our screens right away can be beneficial, but also harmful. Now, I understand if you're waking up and you just lay in bed and you doom scroll, absolutely not. That's not beneficial. That is literally just brain rot. And I can understand the cortisol spike in that with dopamine. But I'd be curious to know how this affects dopamine and your cortisol if you're doing it for work purposes. For me, for instance, I don't like to open my phone. Like I'll check to make sure there's no emergency calls or anything. I'll check my email really quickly just in case I have to get to something really quickly. But I always walk my dog first thing in the morning. That's like I feed him and I take him for a walk just to kind of wake up. I'll literally be in sweats. It's not like his long walk of the day, but you know what I mean. And I will have my phone with me and then I'll eventually check. But also the type of industry that I'm in, I do need to check. Now, the difference is checking and being like, okay, I will get to that after. But there are times where I'll check and then I feel like I need to sit down and start doing things so I can understand how that can be effective. But I would love to know how it affects with dopamine and cortisol when it comes to if you're waking up early to be productive versus doom scrolling. Get light exposure within 15 minutes of waking? Absolutely. I'm so blessed that my place has natural light throughout the day, but having Welker here is always great because I notice when he's not here when he's with my mom that I'm not getting that morning air right away. I go to work out, but you know what I mean? Just waking up right away and being able to go outside is always, it's 10 out of 10. Drink water immediately upon waking. Yes, you should be chugging water the second you wake up and not freezing cold water, room temperature water, at least 8 ounces. I would go a little bit more if you want to. And one thing that I have gotten better at and stopped doing is I don't drink coffee in the morning anymore like I used to, where I'd wake up and I had to have my coffee. I haven't done that in, I want to say like almost a year. What I do now is obviously I wake up, I have my water, I get my electrolytes right away, right here. Sometimes I'll take my supplements depending on the type of workout I'm doing. If I'm running, I don't like to have a ton of liquids unless I'm pacing it out where I'm not going to feel like I'm, full of water in my belly. I have to go to the bathroom. But I don't have a coffee until typically after the workout or after the run. I'm actually bad with like an afternoon one, but you should always have some sort of warm water and lukewarm water in the morning because that will get your metabolism going. Whereas if you just stun it with cold water, you probably will not have the best bowels. I will say that. But as far as a neuroscience, not nutrition, which I just switched it to, hydration within the first few minutes helps restore cognitive function and supports the brain's natural detoxification process that occurred during sleep. Well, we all need that. Practice mindfulness for 10 to 12 minutes. Studies show that just 12 minutes of daily meditation increases mental resilience and improves executive function. The brain is most suggestible as it transitions from sleep to wakefulness, making morning the ideal time for mindfulness. Move your body gently. Light stretching or yoga activities, light stretching or yoga activities activates. I was like, wait, this isn't making sense. Light stretching or yoga activates the vagus nerve, which turns off stress signals in your nervous system. Movement also boosts blood flow to the brain, improving oxygen exchange and setting the foundation for sustained mental energy. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude practice rewires natural pathways in your emotional processing centers. A 2020 study found sustained positive efforts with participants experiencing lasting benefits at 6 months follow-up. Clarify your top priority for the day. Setting a single clear intention engages your prefrontal cortex, the decision-making center of your brain. Research shows writing down goals activates the reticular activating system, helping your brain focus on achieving them. All right, there's a ton more. I'm going to save this and share it like I did last week because we got to move on. But I love that. I say maybe pick, aside from drinking water and staying away from your phone if you can, I say, and moving your body, which you should be moving your body. Everyone should be moving their body. Probably pick like 3 of these a day to try to do. Eat brain-friendly breakfast. This is all really basic habits that could all be put into one, even though they're spread out into 8 different sections. They're minor steps. The bigger steps are just like eating breakfast. The ones that were more, and that's not even, I'm eating it right now. You can multitask with that. I would say take a look at these. There's 8 steps. Technically, you could do these all in a day, as not saying throughout, or not, well, yeah, you could do it throughout the day, but not saying it takes a day to do it. They're all pretty basic habits that you could form and that you could implement in your day. Obviously, they're wanting you to do most of these in the morning, so that would just be the only thing. But if you need to, pick 3 of them or 4 of them that you could do. This one's funny. This is funny. Okay. Studies show men sleep better next to a woman, but women sleep better next to a dog. Yep, I'm here for this. Science suggests this fascinating split comes down to a mix of hormonal bonding and nighttime behavior. Research indicates that men often experience deeper, more restorative sleep when sharing a bed with their partner because oxytocin release. Close physical contact triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which lowers stress levels and slows heart rate. Cortisol reduction. This bonding hormone actively reduces cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, creating a sense of safety that helps men drift into longer REM sleep or REM cycles. Emotional security. Men frequently report feeling more emotionally secure and relaxed next to their partners, which supports more stable sleep. A widely cited study from Kansas College found that for many women, dogs make better bedfellows than humans because predictability. Dogs typically have consistent sleep patterns that align closely with their owners, unlike human partners who may have irregular schedules or habits. Damn, this is just really fewer disruptions. Human partners are more likely to disrupt a woman's sleep through snoring, blanket stealing, or tossing and turning. I mean, how dare you? Stronger sense of safety. Women in the study reported that dogs provide a higher sense of comfort and security than either human partners or cats, likely due to a dog's natural protective instincts. I don't have anything else to say. I just think that's hilarious. Accurate. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something that I feel is very important, especially for women. So this is for my gals, and it's basically what I'm wanting to break down is talking about lactic threshold for women runners, because it is widely misunderstood, but also super beneficial. So lactic threshold is basically the fastest pace you can run while your body is still keeping things under control, let's say. By the way, we want this, not all the time, but we want this to help with training, to help with endurance, to help with cardiovascular output, recovery. If we want to go into like health purposes, for our blood pressure, for our metabolism, for our brain health, oxygen levels. It is truly beneficial, I promise you. What I want to talk about is why it's important for women. And we tend to burn fat more effectively. We can accumulate lactate more slowly and moderate. We tend to hold a higher percentage of our max effort for longer periods of time, which I love because if you think about it, we're just built to be, ooh, it's 11:11, make a wish. I don't pass this up. I'm sorry. It's my angel numbers. I see it essentially every day, if not every other day. We've got to do it 11:11. You got to make that wish. I'm so glad that it happened right now. Kiss it. Normally I'll look at 11:11 until it turns 11:12. I just did. Awesome. Anyways, going back. So I just think it's so amazing that we're literally built for this like sustained effort life. We're built to be endurance athletes. We're built to just break barriers. And I love everything about that. Long story short, lactic threshold is basically the fastest pace you can run while your body is still keeping things under control. So you're able to still breathe without feeling like you're about to lose your breath, that you're at max heart rate, that you're feeling like you're going to pass out. That's way above lactic threshold. That would be your highest anaerobic phase or stage, max effort for max heart rate. That's when you're doing sprinting or you're going into failure or burnout. And there are types of training for that as well. But threshold or lactic threshold training is in between the peak and being able to just do or being able to comfortably speak and talk and run. So, why it's important for women is because we burn fat more efficiently. Shocker, right? That we burn fat as women when we're probably told the opposite. So, when women are in moderate to hard intensity training or moderate to vigorous intensity training, we're actually able to accumulate lactate more slowly, which is good for our benefit. That means that we're able to work at a very consistent threshold, can hold a higher percentage of our max effort for longer periods of time. So, for instance, when we accumulate that lactate more slowly at the moderate to hard intensity, we're able to hold that higher percentage of that effort for longer periods of time, which is really great because it's a sustained effort versus having to max out totally to be able to achieve this or be at such a low rate that it's almost impossible to achieve. I'm making sense here. I'm sure I am. What people misunderstand is threshold in general doesn't mean max heart rate and it doesn't mean anaerobic. You're in a high aerobic state, but you're not all out. You're not sprinting. You're not gasping for air. You're not feeling like you want to die. It's more of that deep, steady breathing. You can talk in short phases, obviously not full sentences because we're not at a talking pace, but you can answer a question if someone's asking you a question. And that's about it. Your legs are feeling heavy, but you can continue to move. You're not feeling as if you have hit failure. And you can hold this effort for 30 to 60 minutes if you had to. It's not going to kill you. So that is what threshold means. If you're running and you're starting to feel as if you're gasping for air, or if you're feeling as if you could not sustain this any longer than a minute, you don't want that. And obviously, if you're running and you feel as if you're not really challenging yourself, you're not really breathing deeply, you're chill, then you're below it. So you're wanting to keep that happy medium, like I said, where it's the medium to hard effort. I wanted to give two examples that you could do as far as running goes for a workout or training that would help you basically stay in the lactic threshold state and achieve it and then get better. So the first one is 2x15 minute at comfortably hard. So that means 2 times for 15 minutes at comfortably hard. You're going to run 15 minutes at a pace that feels challenging, but that you can sustain. Then you'll take a short recovery and you'll do it one more time. Technically 30 minutes, you will be at a comfortably hard pace that you will sustain. And then your recovery, think of that as something where if you're wanting to build up also your recovery as well, the point is you're not wanting to drop your heart rate to where it's gone below 70%, 70 to 65. I wouldn't even say that, 70%. For someone like myself who's advanced, I could do this and take a short break of a minute or two. Whereas maybe some people need a little bit longer, 5 minutes or so on. I would say no longer than a 5-minute break because that's also helping with your cardiovascular output, your stamina, your endurance, and obviously with this lactic threshold. Because the point is you're wanting to gradually get better at this to where you can go faster and longer and within the lactic threshold pace, because that's where you'll really become elite, especially with running. And then the second one is 3 times 10 minutes or 3x10 minute with short recovery, but this would be even shorter. Run 10 minutes at threshold pace and then recover for 1 or 3 minutes, but an easy jog or walk. So the first one where it's the 2x15, you could either do, I mean, if you really want to, I'd be down to do a light jog, but you'll most likely want to do a brisk walk. You don't want to do a chill walk. You'll want to do like a brisk walk. Whereas the 3x10, you should be able to do a light jog and then obviously repeat it 3 times. And if you're a beginner or you're somebody that is wanting to advance more when it comes to stamina and pace, I would suggest a 3x10. This is someone that's struggling to hold threshold continuously. And it is just a little bit more tailored to somebody that would be not you not you're not going to be a beginner, but beginner advanced in the sense of wanting to build up that threshold, your lactic threshold. And then of course the goal is to be able to sustain 20 to 40 minute steady tempo run, which means it's one continuous run, you're not stopping, you're at that comfortably hard with no breaks. And obviously it's an advanced threshold work, but that this is where you're going to get at to that race pace. You're going to get at to that PR pace, and you can only get better from there, right? So yeah, that's that lactic threshold 101. Last topic, best topic, and that is study shows women require a girls' night every 22 days to feel alive. Please quote that again, 22 days, ladies. Women's friendships may require more emotional investment than you realize. Research exploring gender differences in close relationships suggests that women's friendships tend to become more emotionally intimate compared to men's. But what does that actually mean for well-being? Studies indicate that women have often higher expectations for their friendships. Yeah. This includes greater needs for loyalty, emotional support, and when it's reciprocity, you know what I'm talking about, reciprocated. Why can't I say certain words in their closest connections? The key difference seems to lie in how relationships are processed. Research suggests that men may find it easier to compartmentalize their friendships, keeping them somewhat separate from other life domains. Women, on the other hand, may integrate their close friendships more deeply into their emotional lives. This deeper investment can make these friendships incredibly rewarding, but it may also explain why friendship disappointments can feel so painful when expectations are not met. A few important notes. These are general patterns, not universal rules. Individual variation matters enormously. Your personality, attachment style, culture, background, and personal history all shape how you experience friendship. Neither approach to friendship is inherently better. Different styles serve different needs, and healthy relationships come in many forms. I mean, the takeaway, like they said, is invest deeply in your friendships. Understanding these patterns may help normalize your experience. I am all for a girls' night. Don't get me wrong. Heck yes. 22 days. I mean, that's basically once a month. Sure, I'll take it. Absolutely. I'm not one that is a social butterfly anymore. I would say that I'm more of a homebody, but also I do like to get out and about. I would rather do an activity with my girls than do a girls' night out just because of my lifestyle. I can't really get hungover because then that's 3 days that I have to recuperate. But I can't tell you how great it is, even if you just give someone a call or have a brief conversation, text, whatever it may be. I mean, I even feel great just doing the whole communication of sending memes to each other on Instagram. Like, to me, that's great. But yeah, it is definitely therapeutic and much needed for us to be able to just let loose, get out, gossip, have fun, dance, and do our thing, get dressed up for each other. I love doing that. So, ladies, every 22 days, you must have a girls' night for sure. Sign me up. I'm down. I also think it's just we're more emotional when it comes to connection. I think for myself, I've always been a girl that has my core group of 5 people I could go to my entire life, or 3 people I could go to my entire life. I have girlfriends and I love hanging out with the girls. I prefer smaller group of girls than bigger groups just because it's more intimate. When you're with bigger groups, not everyone wants to do things, which is fine. Then you guys can kind of like branch out and do whatever, but it just becomes more stressful than what the whole meaning of gathering is. So I love groups of 5 or less, truly. I think that is just really great. You all can fit into one place together. You can move in one place together. You can do your own thing together. If you wanted to break apart, there's enough to have, a little break apart session. But yeah, I think a group of 5 is always great. And I love that. And for me, I think that the most intimate times or, for activities are going for like a really good walk or doing something health conscious or fitness conscious. you're not only releasing endorphins and you're in a very comfortable, calming state, you're also with somebody that you trust. So you're able to talk and kind of release at the same time. It is chef's kiss, fuego. Yeah, every 22 days or as often as you want, gals, as often as you want. I have to get going. I got to get some stuff done. I got to take Welker out. He is ready to get mad at me again. What's new? So we're going to hop into products of the day real quick. Of course, first product would be the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I ship it. I like it. I'm here for it. I'm glad I got it. Thank you, me. I might as well open this while I'm on camera. I got a new running vest. Just wanted to test it, another one out. It's not a big name brand, I don't think. Flip Belt, I don't know if that is a big name brand or not. If you are, I apologize. It's my first time using you. I wanted to try it out because it doesn't have the bladder pack in the back. It comes with 2 of the squeezy bottles that you put in the front of the running vest. I like that it has your different compartments. So you can put your gels, your phone, here's the zip up, keys, everything. And then it's an easy clasp, open and close to secure to keep it on. And then in the back, it has this little pocket area right here. I would say if you're hiking or something, you would want to put stuff back here. I don't know. You could even, if you decided to take off a top or something, not a hat, but if you wanted to put gear back here, you could. There's a little zip area. It's great. I like it. What's this? Interesting. I got to see what that's all about. Find your stride. So yeah, I'm going to wear it today. See how it goes. It's just going to keep me warm, honestly. Another product of the week is this Magna. It's Focus Energy Recovery. It is a magnesium powder. It's a hydration stick. I'm here for it. I like it. It is watermelon lime. I'm a watermelon gal, truly. Has focus, energy, recovery, and max hydration. So the focus is the magnesium theranoside. Can never say that. Then the energy is the magnesium malate, and then recovery, magnesium glycinate, and then max hydration, sodium and potassium. So those are my products of the week. Am I missing anything? Not now. Yeah, products of the week right there. So we just finished another episode, guys. I will see you next week. And that's that.